Good morning, children. Today we will do a new lesson. Take your English textbooks. The lesson is on page 65, lesson 8. The title of the lesson is Gorillas in the Mist, and it is written by Dian Fossey. In this chapter, we will appreciate the work of Dian Fossey in understanding and protecting the mountain gorillas of Africa. Learn about the dangers and hardships conservationists face. Practice active and passive voice and learn how to write a précis. Précis is condensing a passage into a limited number of words, either 50 or 60 words. Dian Fossey was an exceptional woman, extraordinary woman, who devoted her life to the study and protection of mountain gorillas in Rwanda, Africa. So she is a wonderful woman. Her work was to protect the animals, the mountain gorillas of Rwanda in Africa. She went to Africa in 1966, and high up in the Virunga's rainforest, she achieved close contact and friendship with mountain gorillas. At first, she made inexperienced approaches to the animals. Now, it is difficult all at once to get friendly with animals. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes patience. So in the beginning, when she first met these gorillas, she was not experienced. But gradually, she learned how to make friends with them. But later became their friend, and she also became their friend. The following are extracts from her diary. The title of this chapter recalls the name of the book she wrote about her experiences. So the title is Gorillas in the Mist. Now these are African names coming up here, and the pronunciation may not be very accurate. Today, Sanwake, gorilla tracker. Gorilla tracker is one who follows the tracks of the gorilla and finds out where they stay, where they live. Track is the footprints of the gorillas. So this Sanwake was a gorilla tracker. Today, Sanwake and I were charged by two gorillas. Charged means attacked. And it wasn't bluff charge. Bluff charge means the gorillas were seriously attacking them. They were not pretending to attack them. They really meant it. We were about 150 feet directly downhill from a group when a silverback and a female decided to eradicate us. Eradicate means destroy or kill us. Silverback, the meaning is given there, a male mountain gorilla with white or silvery hair, that is stripes across his back. He is the leader of the pack. So they were downhill, and it was at that time that the gorillas decided to attack them. They gave us a split second of warning. Split second, a very, very short time. How can a second be divided? So, split second means extremely short time. They gave us a split second of warning with screams and roars that seemed to come from every direction at once before they descended into a gallop that shook the ground. So many gorillas, they are running, charging to attack Dian Fossey and the tracker, and before attacking them, they shouted, they screamed, they roared, and these shouts and screams seemed to come from every direction. And after that, they descended into a gallop. They started running. They started chasing them. And there were so many gorillas, they are running so fast that the ground shook, the ground trembled. I was determined to stand fast. She decided that she will not be afraid, she will face the gorillas. But when they broke through the foliage at a dead run means running very fast to the point through the foliage, that is a thick undergrowth, the plants. Directly above me, I felt my legs retreating in spite of what I have read about gorillas not charging fully. So many gorillas running after them, attacking them. At first she decided to stand firm and face them, but then afterwards she retreated, means she moved back. She felt a little bit of fear. I paused long enough to try to dissuade them, discourage them, or prevent them from doing something. So she tried to prevent the gorillas from attacking her with her voice. I waited long enough to try to dissuade them with my voice, which only seemed to aggravate them more. She started talking to them, she started making sounds, but this irritated them. This annoyed the gorillas more, if possible. And when their long canines is their teeth, and wild eyes were no less than 2 feet away, they are still wild animals. And wild animal behavior is unpredictable. You don't know what they will do next. So she felt frightened when she saw the teeth and the eyes, and it was no less than 2 feet away. I took a very ungainly nosedive into the thick foliage alongside the trail. Ungainly means not attractive, not presentable. Nosedive means dodging, escaping, moving very fast into the thick foliage, into the undergrowth. I have just about finished fixing up a room in the hut. She's going to stay in that forest, so she has taken up a hut. And it looks great. It looks wonderful, the hut. I have pictures, skins, tusks, and horns. She's an animal lover, so she has all these parts of the animals hanging here and there. And I have made curtains out of some African printed material. A fireplace will be built next week. She wanted to stay there in the mountains to protect the gorillas and to understand more about their behavior. Work is going well, for I have been following one gorilla group around all month. And now I have been able to get within 30 to 60 feet of them, and they are not afraid of me. So it took her 1 month to go as near as 60 feet away from the gorillas. She noticed the patience, the effort taken to make friends with these animals. To be perfectly frank means truthful, to be completely truthful. I think they are quite confused as to my species. I am a human being, and the gorillas, seeing a human being, were not able to understand what type of animal or what type of thing this Dian Fossey was. Species refers to the type, so here it refers to human beings. The gorillas could not understand the form and nature of this Dian Fossey. I have gotten them accustomed to me by aping them, and they are fascinated by my facial grimaces. Facial grimaces is changing the face, making it look ugly or distorted. It refers to the expression on the face. So Dian Fossey tried to make friends with the gorilla by imitating their facial expressions. You can see that in the picture opposite, the expression on the face of the gorilla, and Dian Fossey is trying to imitate that expression. It might look ugly, it might look fearful also, but that is how she tried to make friends with them. And they are fascinated. The gorillas were slowly becoming attracted, becoming friendly by my facial grimaces and other actions that I wouldn't be caught dead doing in front of anyone. In imitating the gorilla, she says that she would not dare to do these actions, these gestures, these expressions in front of anybody, because they are sometimes ridiculous, they look very funny. So she would not dare to do it in front of another person. But in front of the gorillas, it was all right. Because of the increased proximity means closeness, I have been able to observe a lot never recorded before. She had been able to come so near the gorillas, proximity, so close to the gorillas that she was able to record or note down facts about gorillas which had never been done before. Last week, two of them approached me. Two of them refers to the gorillas. Approached me means came near her within 20 feet. And the rest of the group, the rest of the gorillas remained at 35 or 60 feet for over an hour. They waited for over an hour. Only two of them approached her, and that also within 20 feet. I had to use my threat face once. Threat face, getting angry, showing a face that you're going to challenge, that you're going to attack. You're threatening the animals. That is the threat face. Threat face refers to the expression on her face which was threatening, which was showing that she is ready to attack and face the gorillas. So I had to use my threat face once. Don't laugh. It's quite effective. Don't laugh. She is asking the reader not to laugh. When one of the silverbacks began to get carried away with his bluffing tactics of running, chest beating, and breaking down trees. This is how the gorillas reacted to the threat face. He started running. He started beating his chest. He also started breaking down trees. I was dutifully impressed with his prowess. Prowess is the strength. So these things which the gorilla did, running away, beating his chest, breaking down trees, showed the strength of the gorilla. And Dian Fossey was impressed, was struck by his strength, but decided our proximity was being strained. She did not wish to go any closer to the gorilla because, as I told you before, animal behavior is unpredictable. Even if you become very friendly, there is a chance that the animals will attack you. So she decided not to test the proximity, the closeness. I was dutifully impressed with his prowess, but decided our proximity was being strained. So turned a horrible grimace on him, looked very angrily at the gorilla, a very angry expression she made. She faced the gorilla, which had the effect of a flower on Ferdinand. Ferdinand here is a bull in a children's story, and this bull was interested in smelling flowers. So instead of participating in bullfights, he used to smell flowers. Means it had a very calming effect. It made the animal quiet. Just as the bull became quiet, the gorilla became quiet. So we will stop here.